Right now, while you're watching this, your life is being shaped by something quieter than your loud, busy thoughts. Not the part of you that debates, plans, and overanalyzes. The deeper part, the part that doesn't argue, it just accepts. Dr. Joseph Murphy described it simply: you've got a conscious level and a subconscious level. You think with the conscious mind, ideas, intentions, choices, then whatever you habitually think, whatever you keep returning to, sinks down into the subconscious. And the subconscious creates according to that nature. Like soil. You don't yell at soil to grow a rose. You plant rose seeds consistently, and the soil does what soil does. And here's the part that makes people sit up a little straighter. On average, about 95% of life is running on that automatic subconscious programming. So if you've ever felt like, why do I keep ending up here? Or, why does this pattern keep following me? It's not because you're broken. It's because the subconscious is faithful, almost too faithful. It expresses what you've believed about yourself, people, environments, circumstances, mostly formed in the past. And yes, some beliefs are enabling, some feel limiting, but either way, they're not truth. They're just instructions you've been repeating long enough for the subconscious to call them reality. Now, there's another layer that feels a little mystical, but also weirdly familiar if you've lived long enough. Your subconscious isn't isolated like a little island. It's connected, linked, with the subconscious mind of others. Think about how many times you've thought of someone you haven't considered in months, and suddenly they call, text, email, show up. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe the mind is more like an ocean than a sealed jar. Individual waves, same water. And if that's true, if the subconscious has direct access, as the old teachings imply, then what you call intuition, inner genius, sudden inspiration, isn't random. It's you plugging into a deeper current. Picture the subconscious like an interface to a massive database, like a file server of life. Solutions, ideas, new connections, the right person, the right move, the next step you can't logically see yet. All of it, already there. And here comes the hidden magic. The goal isn't to force create from scratch. The goal is to stop throttling access with old beliefs that say you can't. Because when the subconscious accepts a new inner reality, it starts rearranging the outer world to match, quietly, naturally, sometimes so smoothly you only notice in hindsight. So how do you work with this without turning it into a self-improvement punishment ritual? You start with something simple, but honestly, it's a little brave. You look at your life with no shame, no condemnation, just honesty, like you're reading feedback, not evidence of failure. Because the outer world, in a strange way, is a projection. Consciousness outpictured. Not as some cold philosophy, but as a practical lens. What you see out there is often showing what's been accepted in here. Try this. Describe yourself quietly in your own mind, and then look at your current results. Career, money, relationships, energy, even the way you carry yourself in a room. Don't judge it, just notice it. This is what could be called a cause and effect reflection. The ancient symbol of sun and moon fits perfectly here. Conscious mind like the sun, directing attention, choosing focus. Subconscious like the moon, reflecting and projecting, shaping the tides of experience. When you don't understand this relationship, life feels random. When you do understand it, life starts to feel readable, like you're finally holding the user manual you didn't know existed. And there's a relief in this, if you let it land, because it means you're not cursed, you're not unlucky, you're not just destined for the same cycles. You're simply watching subconscious beliefs play themselves out, faithfully, the way a mirror reflects whatever stands in front of it. Some people call this harsh, like, you created everything. But that's not what's being said here. There's no blame. There's actually compassion in it. It says, even if the past wrote the old script, you can write a new one now. And now matters more than people realize, because the past isn't alive. Only this moment is alive. Here's another perspective, an old one, which is calming. Creation is already complete. Ancient teachings hint at this idea that you're not inventing reality from nothing. You're selecting from what already exists, like a simulation that's fully coded, and your choices determine what renders on the screen. So instead of suffering through, I have to build my whole life from scratch, you start relaxing into, I'm revealing what's already possible for me. Speech and mind, two gifts equal to immortality, the Hermetica says. Mind, largely subconscious, is how you experience the world. Inner speech, conscious intention, is how you select the experience. And once you see that, you stop fighting your life like an enemy. You start partnering with it like a living intelligence. So awareness comes first. You see the patterns. You notice the beliefs under the surface. Now comes the part where real change happens, and it's simpler than people expect. But also, it asks for consistency, repetition. Because beliefs form through repetition, through years of emotional experience, through story after story you told yourself. So naturally, new beliefs form the same way, through repeated acceptance of a new inner truth. This is where autosuggestion comes in, not as fake positivity, not as lying to yourself, more like giving the subconscious a new instruction to build from. Autosuggestions are statements that imply the experience has already changed. You already are who you desire to be, even if nothing visible has shifted yet. And yes, the mind will want proof first. That's the old habit. Mastery is learning to not need visible signs to stay faithful to the inner selection. Because the subconscious doesn't need logic, it needs acceptance. Once acceptance sinks in, it starts calling in the people, the ideas, the opportunities, the behavior shifts, sometimes without you even noticing you've changed. Imagine someone wanting a healthy relationship. They meet someone, and suddenly old beliefs rise up like ghosts. They're not interested. I'm not chosen. This never works out for me. No shame. That surfacing is actually useful. It's the subconscious revealing what it's been holding. So instead of spiraling, you pause. You become the observer. You acknowledge the old belief, and then you give a new suggestion. Who I desire, desires me. Or, mutual interest is normal for me. Not as a desperate chant, more like a calm decision, like changing your destination in a GPS. Then you go about your day. You let the subconscious do the heavy lifting. Now widen this out, because this is where the hidden magic becomes almost unfair, in a good way. You can apply this same principle to every area of life. Career, the jobs I want are looking to be filled by me. Financial, money shows up from unexpected sources, and I'm open to new ways. Spiritual, prosperity and happiness are my destiny. Physical, my body is energized by doing what I love. Intellectual, the information I'm looking for shows up instantly. Family, respect flows both ways in my family. Social, the right people show up wherever I am. Notice what's happening. Same core feeling. Life is for you, not against you. Spoken in different languages, different perspectives, same repetition. And as you do that, something subtle starts shifting. People change around you. Environments rearrange. New hobbies appear. New places. New ideas. Not because you forced reality, but because your subconscious, your partner, starts expressing the new inner agreement you've accepted.